Morning guys, thank you for joining me on my latest adventure. This has been on my bucket list forever. I am in Norway, but not only in Norway, which is a brand new country I've never been here and always dreamed of, I'm in the Lofoten Islands. This place is unreal. We're going to be doing 4 nights here. This place is called Lofoten Base Camp, and then we're going to be doing 3 nights on a boat. We're doing like a ski and sail adventure, and then we're going to stay 1 night in Harstad. So we actually arrived here last night, and the journey was a lot from London, but worth it for this ridiculously gorgeous view. So we flew into Oslo from Gatwick, and then from Oslo we flew to Harstad, and then we drove for 4 hours to get here to Lofoten Base Camp. The driving was actually quite easy. There was snow on the road, so of course we were going slowly, but there wasn't anything complicated. Like Google Maps got us here. It took us 4 hours. We did stop off along the way for some food, but this place is pure magic. It's everything the pictures tell you it will be and more. I am in love. I'm honestly like on cloud 9. And this place in general, we booked it quite last minute because it was originally just me and my boyfriend coming on this trip, and then we kept adding on people, so there's now 5 of us. So we waited till last minute to book our accommodation. But this place is gorgeous. So let me show you around. So basically this is the sauna. So cool. So when you go inside, you've got this incredible view of the mountain behind you and obviously like the sea. And then these are the huts that you stay in. So we've got 2 bedrooms upstairs, a bedroom downstairs, and a kitchen and a like living space. And then you have this huge big veranda in the front as well. Today, I think we're going to be exploring like the local area. We're going to go to a place called Norway. Now, let me tell you, I am going to get all of these pronunciations wrong, so you're just going to have to bear with me. I'm going to give it my best, but I'm probably going to say everything wrong. But yeah, it's like a cute little fishing town. And the weather, I don't know how long it's going to hold out, because right now we have blue in the sky. So yeah, we're going to try and maximise on the weather, but it's due to be like snowy and grey and raining all week. But if I only get this one little bit of blue, I'm happy with it. At least we saw this place. It's so gorgeous. Look at this view. So this is Harstad. The weather here is a bit choppy changey, let's just say. I don't want to put my mic on because I don't want it to get wet in the snow, so hopefully you can still hear me because it's not too windy, but it's gone from being like the most picturesque bright blue sky to this. But it kind of makes it just as cute to walk around, I think. Love this place. So we've now just driven through the most epic scenery, by the way. All the scenery here is absolutely insane to drive through. We've driven to a place called Harstad. We're at an Arctic surfing like shack. I don't know if anyone's necessarily going to be surfing because obviously it's like super -degrees, but if not, there's like a cute restaurant here, so we're going to get food. It apparently has the best cinnamon buns in the Lofoten Islands, so I will report back on that. Hold on, I said area's best, world's best. All right, that's quite a statement. Let's see, shall we? Thank you.
So we started out with some soup, which was absolutely delicious. And then the cinnamon buns, let me tell you, they really are the world's best. They were divine.
Highly recommend. This is the name of the place. Surf, eat, sleep is just the slogan. This is the name of the place.
With very full and happy bellies, we wandered down to the local beach, which is about a 5-minute walk from the restaurant, and it was amazing. You can really see why people must love to surf here, especially in summer. Really cool to see. Reminded me a lot of Iceland, actually. Then we went back to our Lofoten base camp. This is the view of the camp from above. We decided to have our own little Nordic spa experience every night we were at Lofoten base camp. It's so cool. So you basically just walk to the sauna, which you pre-book. We were in the sauna for a good 20 minutes or so a time, and then there are stairs down to the sea. So after you've been in the sauna, you can dip in the sea yourself. So you just have this amazing like Nordic spa experience all to yourself. Highly recommend it. We did it every night. Then we cooked dinner indoors every night as well, because we had all of the means to, and it was just so much easier because everything is a drive away. So we had pasta that night, and then we all watched Netflix together. It became our little ritual. And then in the morning, back in the car. Honestly, I highly recommend hiring a car if you are travelling to the Lofoten Islands. Reason being, there are local bus services, but the weather changes so often that you just need your own set of wheels, so you can just get up and drive whenever the weather is good. And the driving is part of the holiday itself. Everywhere is exceptional. Good morning. So today we are discovering more of the little fishing villages here, which is, to be honest, pretty much all you do in the Lofoten. Like, you're just driving around, taking in the epic scenery, going through about 4 different seasons in a day as well, I need to add, because honestly it's madness. One minute it's like sunny, the next minute it's snowing, the next minute it's raining, so you can never rely on the weather forecast. But that's also kind of cool, because you know that even if it's like crappy one minute, it could be sunny the next minute. So today we are in rain. Well, right now we're in rain. We're going to be driving through a little bit further south. We went past a few little fishing villages on the way, but we wanted to walk around Rain itself. I think this is probably one of the most famous spots. Just parked up, but you can see it is quite the picture spot. It is epic. So pretty. Ren is particularly pretty, and there's so many different viewpoints that you can just walk around. It's honestly gorgeous. It was a Sunday, so we drove to a few more fishing villages, but nothing was really open. But we were recommended this place called Anita's Seafood Shop and Bar. This place is beautiful. It's this huge big restaurant with these amazing windows that look out to the fjords, and it's famous for its fish burger, but they did have a veggie burger, which was honestly delicious. Really glad I went for it. I actually ended up having 2 of these. It was so yummy. But you can also just sit here and have a coffee. They've got a nice wide range of desserts and pastries and things as well. So we just spent the afternoon here. Morning. Right, so we did the exact same thing last night. We just went back to the hotel, did the sauna, did the dip in the ice cold sea, and it was amazing. This is the place where it's a fishing village, as you can see from behind me, but it's a collection of islands, teeny tiny islands, and one of the islands has a soccer pitch on it. The whole entire island is just a football field, basically. So we're gonna go and find that, and then we're gonna grab lunch and just wander around. Another stunning fishing village. This is basically all you do in the Lofoten Islands, but it's weird because somebody told me to spend about 4 days here, and I would have thought, why? Like, you're literally just going around the fishing villages. Why would you need more than a couple of days? But it takes you an hour to get to the place, and then everything is so beautiful. You just wander around for so long. So I do definitely recommend you do at least 3 nights here, so that you can just drive to each fishing village. And even though they're all kind of the same, they're all so different and so beautiful. It's definitely a bucket list tip to visit Henningsvær. This is the place where a lot of people take their drones up and you get that epic view of the football pitch in the middle of the island. It was far too windy for me to fly my drone, but we did find a really nice cafe, restaurant for lunch. I had a veggie burger once again, and it was just another one of these cool restaurants that just has incredible views. The only thing I would say about all of these villages is they stink of fish. If you do not like the smell of fish, this is not the place for you to travel to. I don't eat fish, so I really smell it even more, I think, than somebody who would eat fish, but it's copable. It's just very potent. Apparently it gets worse throughout the year, so we're quite lucky that the hanging season has actually just started. So yeah, there's not that many out, but whew, it holds. So the weather's really not been on our side this trip. So we've just been basically going from village to village, which I've shown you along the way. And then in the evenings, we've just been coming back, getting in the sauna, going for a dip in the sea. Every single one of us, it's been like our evening ritual, and then just cooking a meal at home, because we've just found it so much easier to do everything when you get back, and then you can kind of just relax, look through the photos, all that kind of thing. And then last night, the KP index was super, super high. So even though it was crazy cloudy, we decided to go out on a little Northern Lights hunt. Hats off to the boyfriend.
He drove us around the island. It was like pitch black, and we did see this like red glow in the sky, but I wouldn't count that as necessarily seeing the northern lights. I don't know if our phones were playing tricks on us, but apparently seeing red northern lights is like the rarest that you can. But this is of course a very popular area to see the northern lights. In fact, it's one of the best places in the world to see them. So I've still got my fingers crossed that we're going to see them on this trip, but maybe it's saving itself for the spectacle of being on the water, like when we're on the boat. But we tried. We went out for an hour, and it was just fun to like be out in the car, like northern lights hunting anyway. But this morning we are leaving the Lofoten base camp, and we are driving back to Harstad to stay there for one night before we get on the boat tomorrow, but probably going to stop off along the way. But yeah, we've absolutely loved staying here. I highly recommend it. Everything you need is in this villa, which I think is amazing. It's super nice and warm. Even the floors are heated, so like when you get back you can leave all your boots and things on the floor. None of us have had any issues with like things being dry and wet and all that kind of thing. And I especially recommend villa number 39 because it's like a hop, skip and a jump to the sauna, so you don't have to get too cold when you're walking back and forth. But yeah, highly recommend. Off to Harstad. Alrighty. Look at the difference between this place from the day that we arrived, by the way. Like no snow on the ground whatsoever, barely any snow on the mountain behind us even. Crazy.
During the drive back, we stopped off at Svolder, which is actually one of the first places we stopped off on the drive down. I picked up my obligatory Lofoten souvenir. The boys were playing snowballs, just stretching our legs for a bit. It took us about 4 hours to drive back up to Harstad. And this, I think, is the capital. So this is where there's lots of restaurants and cafe hotels, but also you can book your rib boat tours from this location. If you're not in the Lofoten Islands for very long, a really good way to see them would be to go via boat, and here is where a lot of the water sports leave from. So they also have stand-up paddleboarding, kayaking, the works. I think the season had just started, so we are here the very first week of March, which is the beginning of their spring season. So a few of the boats were actually going out. When we arrived, there was nothing open, but we had a nice lunch here. Like I said, got the obligatory souvenir, and then we got back into the car and drove up to Harstad. Google Maps actually took us on board a ferry as part of our car journey to Harstad, which was pretty cool. And then we stayed for one night in Harstad in a local hotel. The very next morning, we got onto our boat. So this was the part that we were all so excited for. This was our ski and sail tour with Sail Bifrost. We were staying aboard the sailboat for 3 nights and 4 days and skiing during the day. And we were just all so stoked to get on board.
Before it gets crazy messy, this is our cabin, and you can unpack everything. It's amazing. So we've got 2 big like drawers underneath here, and then there's a shelf, so we've put all of our like random stuff on the shelf. There's another little cupboard here where you can hang jackets and jumpers. We didn't actually need to. I've just put my 2 jackets up here, and then everything else is in the drawers underneath. It's got a little window there and a little window for when you're actually in bed, which is pretty cool. And then there's another shelf up here, so put like ski goggles up there, boots bag, boys bag. And then in the bathroom, one second, let me flip the camera. Another little window, there is the toilet. And there's actually a really nice big mirror. Hooks there, another little window. It's like so much ventilation, which is amazing. And then there's this little box here where you can put all of your toiletries in. So more than enough space. And this is the shower. We're about to sail us. Where are we off to, Captain?
It's such light winds in the
But usually
The coolest thing about touring with this particular company is they get you to work immediately. So not one of us on board had real sailing experience, but from the moment we left the dock, we all had a job to do, whether that was steering or loosening the lines, opening the sails. It was brilliant. I loved it. I feel like I could full on sail a boat from now on, and it's so cool. It's a husband and wife team, and they've sailed all over the world. So as you're sailing, they're telling you stories of their adventures. And even though it was absolutely freezing, I mean, it was -degrees for the majority of the journey, it was raining and snowing, we were all just in the highest spirits. It was so cool. So we actually sailed to a local island, which is where our hosts were from. And then in the evening, we just all sat and did a puzzle. We actually picked up this puzzle from one of the islands in Lofoten. And we just basically worked our way through this every single night, and then went to bed, slept really good. The covers were really nice and warm and plush, and then woke up in the morning to breakfast laid out to get us all fueled up for skiing.
Morning. Right, so today is skiing day. Yesterday we got on the boat and we sailed here to one of the local islands. It was so much fun because we all got totally involved. Like every single person had a job at all times. Like honestly, I highly recommend this trip. It's so fun. And it was freezing. It was like frozen rain, snow, rain, wind. Like we were absolutely frozen, but we were all having like the time of our lives. It took us about 2 hours in total, I think, to get here because we were just like practicing putting up all the sails and things like that. But it was so much fun. We were freezing when we got in, and then we spent the evening doing a puzzle. Then we had a really nice dinner. We had snacks. We had some wine. Like just a really lovely evening. And then actually slept really well. Like these cabins are so crazy comfy. Like you get a wool blanket and then like a really nice thick duvet. So even though they don't leave the heating on at night, like you are snug as a bug in a rug. Anyways, so today we are going skiing, and this is pretty much what I planned the trip around. So I went skiing in Canada for a week before this trip to kind of prep myself because it's all off-piste. We've hired a local ski guide called Christian, and this is basically like what he does through and through. So he's super experienced in this area, and yeah, we're going to climb the mountain and ski down. So I am like beyond excited for this. However, honestly, the weather has literally just not been on our side this entire trip. It is disgusting, the weather today. So it's snowing, raining, windy, and there's no visibility, which sucks. We've got 2 full days of skiing, so I'm hoping that it clears up in the afternoon. But right now, like we're literally not even going to be able to see a thing. And this is what's so cool about skiing here, because you go up into the mountains, obviously no one else is there, and you have these incredible views of like the sea, the lakes, like all of the other mountains. Like I've seen other videos of people doing it, and honestly it looks so mega. But just keeping the fingers crossed that it clears up a little bit, because otherwise we're going to get so wet. We're going to have to keep coming back to the boat, changing, and then going back up the mountain. But anyways, in terms of being cold, we can deal with that, but obviously we just need to be clever, because in these conditions there are avalanche warnings and things like that. But Kristen's got her back, it's going to be fine, and I'll film what I can without my phone freezing. But yeah, I'm so excited to ski.
Our ski guide came on board the boat and gave us our avalanche training, told us all about the piece that we were about to ski down, got us all prepped. We all had shovels and an avalanche tracker as well. Like we were kitted out and ready to go. So we are going to climb up the mountain with skins on and then take them off as we are skiing down. You can't make out all of it, but that is the mountain that we are climbing. We've already been skin walking for about an hour. It is quite strenuous. Like, it's not for the faint-hearted, let me tell you. That was not easy climbing up. Walking was obviously tough, but the climbing up was something, let me tell you. Because there's so much fresh snow, so every single step is like, oh, it kills you. But we made it, and we're gonna have a snack, I think, calm down for a bit, and then ski down. Look at me, that looks like I'm always falling. Victorious.
Yeah! Omar's rocking it.
We can cut the video.
No, no, no. Sabrina,
Now try and come down. All right.
Sabrina, come on.
All right, guys, here's the thing. We pretty much skied down the entire mountain like this. The conditions were bonkers. There was so much fresh snow. It was just impossible to ski. And obviously I had that huge backpack with all of my spare clothes and avalanche gear and whatnot on me. I failed miserably. We all did. I mean, it was funny, but yeah, we pretty much didn't ski the entire time. Hilarious.
All right, we came down the mountain. I did not come down the mountain gracefully, let me tell you now. So I've just been skiing in Canada for a week. I couldn't make one turn at the very start at the top of the hill. I think I probably turned like twice consecutively the entire way down the mountain. It is no joke, this off-piste skiing. And now we're just kind of like skiing through the woods, which I can handle, but I had to take my hat off because it kept coming down on my eyes, couldn't see anything. The conditions were like bonkers up there as well, so like we couldn't even see each other's tracks, like it was mental. And I kept falling over, and because the snow is so fresh, my arm was like getting implanted in the snow so much that I physically could not get my arm out. And then because we've got these big rucksacks with our lunch and shovels and all that kind of stuff, you can't roll yourself up. So even if you get a ski in there, your ski gets stuck and you can't click out because the clicks are in the front. It's madness, but honestly one of the funnest things, and like we'll be laughing about it forever. I was lying face plant down in the snow for a good 10 minutes before I could release my arm. I had to shovel my own arm out of the snow. But yeah, I mean, nonsense, but it was really funny. Humbled by today's experience. Humbled. That was so tough. We came back to the boat, all had dinner together. We had nachos, which was amazing. And then we were just like playing games and stuff, but time to do it all over again tomorrow. All right, so we're ready, we're dressed. Day 2 off-piste skiing. We are not defeated. Apparently the conditions might be slightly better today. I don't know, but we're gonna drive up half the way. We're going to a completely different mountain today, so we're going to drive up half the way, so we'll be higher, therefore we're hoping the snow will be a bit more packed. But either way, my hip's broken, but off we go.
And normally we go either up there or up there, down the same way, or you can choose up here. I suggest this one here because this is not so steep. You see, it's more flat, and so much snow you will just get stuck.
This part of the video actually makes me super sad. So the next day we managed to ski absolutely fine, but the visibility once again was terrible. The whole reason we booked to go on a ski and sail tour in Norway is because you get these insane off-piste views, but sadly the weather gods were just not on our side. But at least we all managed to ski down and we didn't fall over, and it was a much better day. But yeah, it was super short and the weather was just rubbish, so we didn't get to see any of the views. I have to do this trip again just to ski in these amazing locations and actually see it.
Now I finished skiing. It's time for sailing again, but it's even colder sailing, so I've now got thermals on underneath, a fleece. I'm going to put my down jacket on and then my ski jacket. Just in case anyone was questioning how cold it is on this boat right now, that is the rope. Oh my God.
After 3 epic days of sailing, we docked up in Harstad, and it was the first night that the sky was clear. So the Northern Lights came out to play, and we were so excited because this was our 8th night in Norway. They started off a little bit faint and then they went absolutely nuts. We were going crazy.
Perseverance! And we got a good show as well. This is insane! Wow! Ah! This is ridiculous! I could cry. How cool is it when it dances like that? Look! Oh my gosh, thank you so much, universe. Good morning. So in typical fashion, we've woken up to blue skies and the most perfect morning, and today is our last day, and we're not even sailing today because even though it's beautiful weather, the sailing conditions aren't perfect, but it's so nice to wake up to the sunshine and like come up on deck and have a cup of coffee, which is what we wanted to do all along, but we haven't been able to do because it's been such bad weather. And we are docked at the moment in Harstad. Last night's aurora was like something else. Like I can't even begin to describe how insane it was. I left some of the audio on the videos so you can hear how ridiculously excited we got, but it was just like nothing else. One of the best aurora, I think, like in general for people to see, like not just for me to see, because I've seen it belt across the sky before, but never like the entire sky, all the different colors. We saw purples, we saw pinks. Like bear in mind the camera only picks up so much, right? Oh my gosh, it was absolutely insane. But yeah, we're just gonna go down and have some breakfast now. I just wanted to share with you our moment of wonderful blue sky. Look at this morning. What a turnaround. It is so beautiful. So I thought I'd do a little roundup of our trip. Today, as you know, the sun's come out, our very last day, sod's law, but even though it was hectic and crazy and a little bit scary skiing in that weather, this to me was the best way to do it because I don't think I'll ever experience anything like this again. I mean, we were sailing when it was snowing, when it was crazy windy, when it was raining, and then the off-piste skiing that we did was just something else. It was so difficult. But it was just so rewarding and so cool. We are really lucky that we did this ski and sail with the locals, right? So Anne Helen and Halvard are actually from the island that we stayed at. So it's just so lucky because when the weather was bad, we had so many things to do. 3 of us were doing the skiing, but those that weren't skiing just went to their farm. It's so cool. So they had Icelandic ponies, they were feeding the cows, they were driving the tractors, like just mucking in. And this is the cool thing about doing it with this company, because you really feel like you are a local for a moment, especially if you get the weather conditions that we had. My goodness, it just felt like we were like proper out in the sticks, like, you know, surviving, which I know might not be ideal for most, but for me, I absolutely loved it because you just really get to see what they live like out here, you know. So it was really cool. And yeah, we always had something to do including the jigsaw puzzle that we did every night. But yeah, highly recommend it, and excited that it's sunny at least on our last day, so we can go skiing for a bit, and then we're staying in a hotel near the airport before flying back tomorrow.
We went up the other day.
That's the mountain we climbed.
That's the mountain.
Wow.
That's how it looks. And if you look closely, you see a lot of avalanches there also.
The team at Sail Bifrost dropped us off at a local organised ski hill, so we just showed up, we could rent our equipment, pay for a lift pass, and we had a full day of skiing, and it was amazing. But it was bittersweet because the views were exceptional, and I can't imagine how insane our views must have been from when we were ski expeditioning. But obviously the weather wouldn't allow us to see them, so we were a bit gutted. But it was amazing to at least get one good day in of skiing. I highly recommend Sail Bifrost, by the way. Everything was included in the boat, so it was such good value, and they are an amazing team. The only thing we had to pay for, which was quite a premium, was the ski guide, and as you know, we didn't really get to ski, but it is what it is. It's the weather's fault, it is no one else's. We had the best time.
Time to go home. stayed at airport hotel last night. Literally just woke up and walked to the airport. Off we go. Thanks for watching. Bye.